Yeah, it is a pretty exciting time to be in the solar industry. Our projections tell us that this year our industry is going to grow by about 52%, which
Wow.
you were talking about something growing at half as I was walking up here. We're going to double, which is an exciting, it's a pretty...
We were talking about 30-year treasuries.
Yeah.
Typically a very safe investment.
Yeah.
Has been a bad bet over the last 3 years.
Not
Yeah.
so exciting. So, solar is going to, the installations.
Well, what about the
52%.
backlash that Paul has been talking about? You know, it's become a very political issue,
Yeah.
ESG in general, the
Right.
green transition,
Yep.
obviously. And even though we probably see more solar panels in Texas than anywhere else in the country, you've had, especially those people down south, like really pushing back against ESG.
Yeah. So that's why you're never going to hear those letters or those come out of my mouth. But you know what you are going to hear come out of my mouth? Lower prices.
Yep.
Because, yes, it is true that California is the state with the most solar in the country right now.
Okay, so California has more solar
but
than Texas.
Texas and Florida are 2 and 3.
Yep.
And over the course of the next few years, it's really a race for which one's going to be number one. Texas and Florida are not known for their big D politics, right? But what they are known for is wanting the lowest energy prices and competitive energy markets. And so that's really why people are going solar. And when I say people, I shouldn't say people. I should say customers.
Yep.
And customers are utilities.
Yep.
Customers are corporations. And customers are homeowners, right? Apartment owners, warehouse owners, utilities, co-ops, kind of anyone that wants low energy prices, which is pretty much every person and every company in the United States.
Can you talk to us about the efficiency of solar energy versus the other sources and
Sure.
and kind of how that, I guess maybe the return on my investment works?
Yeah. So you sort of asked two different questions. Like, of breaking news, you guys, the sun does not shine 24 hours a day,
Right.
okay? And so if your only source of energy is you like unplug from the grid and you do not have any kind of backup power, you're not going to have power 24 hours a day. So you have two choices. You can either not unplug from the grid and rely on your electric distribution utility for the other hours of the day, or you can have a backup battery system, or you can have some combination of those. So we talk about the efficiency or sort of the capacity factor of a solar system being about, somewhere between 20 and 30%. But that's like a known feature. That's not like shocking news. In terms of your investment, it's a payback period, right? Like and it depends on what your energy prices are. So the payback period in where are we now? New York?
Yep.
Yes.
Your energy prices are a tad bit higher than Wyoming, right? Or than South Dakota. And so your payback period is going to be shorter because your prices are higher than in those places. So it might be 7 years here. It might be more years in a lower cost place. It depends a lot on...
7 years is what the payback for, you're talking about, I guess,
if
the
you-
average family putting solar on their
If
roof.
you put solar on your roof,
Yeah.
exactly. Lots of factors, but that's around-ish.
But how
what it
is
might
solar
cost.
power viewed versus wind, nuclear, gas?
So interesting. You can't actually put wind usually on your home, and you can't have your personal nuke power, right? So
Well, you can if you live in South Dakota.
True. And you ask the SMR guys, right? And they're going to tell you can have your own personal SMR. But solar is unique in that you can have your own, like it's scalable in a way that a lot of other technologies are not. But utilities, right? They have a choice of different energy prices or energy technologies. Solar is the number one new energy source in the country, and it has been for the last few years. So utilities that are putting out RFPs for new energy sources.
Where are RFPs?
I'm sorry. Requests for proposals.
I see.
So they're saying, hey, we have new load. We have new customers. We have new towns that are being built. We have new subdivisions. We have new electric vehicles. Like we are retiring some assets. We need new capacity to fuel our system. So we're putting out a request for proposals to build some new electricity. So who's the best option? And they'll get a whole bunch of different proposals. And over they are choosing solar and building solar because it's the lowest price and it's making the most economic sense for their customers.
It also, I guess, is easier in places like South Dakota or Texas, right, where there's just so much space.
There's a lot of
right?
space.
You're not going to build a solar farm in Westchester County, for example, because everybody's like right next to each
The good news
other.
is the Princeton campus for Bloomberg has a massive solar arrangement down there.
and
panels everywhere.
So does Denison University's campus.
Nice.
I was
Right?
just looking at it in Granville, Ohio.
Right.
But
But your version of massive
Oh, yeah,
and
I know.
Texas's version of
Yeah,
massive
that's
are a little different.
you're exactly right.
so do you still see growth in those big, massive solar farms?
Yes, yes. So the massive version in the West is like
Thousands of acres.
thousands of
Yeah,
acres.
yeah.
The massive version in
Yeah, it's a
Westchester
couple acres.
is some acres.
Yeah.